She talks to me like I'm a calendar reminder. Pick up at 4. Permission slip on the counter. Can you grab milk? And that's it. We live in the same house, sleep in the same bed, raise the same kids, but when she looks at me, it's like I'm there to keep things running, not to be part of anything with her. Most days sound the same. We're up early because the kids are up early. She's already on her phone when I wake up, screen lighting her face before the sun does. I make lunches. She checks the group chat with other parents. We talk, but it's all scheduling. Who's driving who? What time the meeting is? Whether someone needs cleats washed. If I try to say something that doesn't have a task attached to it, there's a pause, like I've spoken in the wrong language. Then she either redirects or sighs and says she's tired. At night, she gets into bed and turns away from me, phone in her hand, thumb scrolling. I'll be right there, close enough that our shoulders could touch, but they don't. They haven't in a long time. Physical closeness didn't end in a fight or a big moment. It just stopped showing up. A year ago, maybe more, I realized I couldn't remember the last time she reached for me. Now it feels normal in a way that scares me, because I don't even know when I stopped expecting it. When I ask if we can have some time together, not a date night with planning and babysitters, just time, she gets irritated. Not angry exactly, just tight. Like I've added something heavy to an already full load. She'll say things like, "Can we not do this right now?" Or, "I don't have the energy for a whole conversation." Sometimes she says she's touched out from the kids, and I nod because that sounds reasonable, and I tell myself I'm being understanding. But then I watch her laugh on her phone at something someone else sent her, and I don't know what to do with that. I'm still here every day. I do bedtime. I help with homework. I show up to school events. From the outside, our life looks steady. The house runs. Bills get paid. Holidays happen. People tell us we're doing great considering how hard parenting is. I agree with them out loud. Inside, I'm aware of this gap that keeps getting wider, even though nothing is technically wrong. I tell myself I might be overreacting, that this is just a season. 10 years of marriage, kids, exhaustion, of course things change. I remind myself she's under a lot of pressure. I minimize it. I say it's not like she's doing something bad. She's not cruel. She's not leaving. She's just elsewhere. And maybe that's on me for wanting more when the basics are covered. We met in a very normal way. No big story. A friend's birthday at a bar we both almost skipped. We ended up at the same table because there were no other seats. We talked about work, about how neither of us planned to stay out late. It was easy. We didn't have to perform. That's what I liked. It felt straightforward, predictable in a good way. Early on, that steadiness felt like safety. We built routines fast, shared calendars, agreed on money stuff. When something came up, we handled it. There wasn't a lot of drama, and after past relationships where everything felt uncertain, that calm felt like relief. I didn't feel like I had to chase her attention. She was just there. The first shift was small enough that I brushed it off. She started going to bed earlier than me, or later, depending on the day. We stopped talking in bed. Not intentionally. It just turned into scrolling or sleeping. I remember thinking we were just tired. Parenting tired. Life tired. I didn't push it because pushing felt selfish when we were both stretched thin. Over time, that small change became the shape of our days. If I stayed quiet, things stayed smooth. The house felt calm. If I brought up how distant we felt, her mood would change, and the rest of the night would be heavy. So I learned when to stay quiet. I learned how to phrase things so they sounded practical instead of emotional. I learned to swallow comments before they turned into questions she didn't want to answer. The reward for that was peace. The cost was feeling like I was slowly removing myself from my own marriage. I've caught myself explaining it to other people in ways that don't even make sense. I'll say we're fine, just busy. Or that this is what long marriages look like. I hear myself defending her when no one is accusing her of anything. I'll say she's a great mom, which she is, as if that explains why she doesn't talk to me about anything personal anymore. I know she tells her friends about her struggles because I've heard her on the phone, voice low, door closed. I don't eavesdrop, but I don't have to. I can hear the difference. That softer tone, the one she doesn't use with me. I stay because the kids wake up in the same house every morning. Because dinner happens at the same table. Because they don't have to pack bags or split holidays. I stay because I believe that my presence keeps things stable, and stability feels like the most important thing I can give them. I tell myself that sacrificing part of myself is worth it if it means they don't feel their world crack open. Leaving feels harder than staying, even on the days when staying hurts. I can't picture seeing my kids only part of the week. I can't picture missing small things because it's not my day. There's the logistics, the money, the way everything would have to be renegotiated. There's also the fear that I'd be the one who broke something that, on paper, works. There wasn't a single moment where everything changed. It was more like noticing the same thing over and over until I couldn't pretend it was temporary anymore. The way she answers me without looking up. The way she shares jokes with friends that I never hear. The way I sit next to her on the couch and feel like I'm intruding on her space. Nothing dramatic. Just accumulation. Right now, I'm still here. Still doing what needs to be done. Still hoping without admitting that's what I'm doing. I haven't decided anything. I haven't confronted her in some big way. I'm aware enough to know this isn't nothing, but not brave enough to know what to do with that awareness. I'm present in this house every day, but I'm not part of her inner life anymore. And I don't know if that's a phase we're moving through or the shape of the rest of my marriage. So how do you tell the difference before it's too late?